Hello and welcome to On the Mat with Lydia. That's me. And whatever has brought you to your yoga practice today, you are very welcome here. Today is day 4 of our stressless 10-day yoga journey, and today our focus is on balance. So whenever you're ready, let's get on the mat. Let's start off today in a comfortable seated position. So please make your way into that comfy seat if you're not already there. Taking a moment to root down through your hips, lift up through the top of your head, letting your arms rest down wherever they naturally fall. And if it feels safe and comfortable for you, you can close your eyes, otherwise finding a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. Starting off our practice today with a few moments in stillness, so that you can really transition from your day, your evening so far, into this time on your yoga mat. Knowing you have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but you get to take these next few minutes on your mat just for you. And as we drop in here today, beginning to tune in to the flow of your breath, becoming aware of each inhale and exhale as breath passes in and out through your nose, and allowing yourself to become fascinated with this flow of your breath, to ride the breath almost like you would ride a wave on the ocean. And with this awareness of your breathing, I invite you to become a little bit more intentional with your breath here today. Finding that your inhale and your exhale can be of equal length. So however long you inhale, you're going to exhale for that same amount of time. So it could be easy to kind of count it out at first, maybe inhaling for a count of 4, and then exhaling for a count of 4. But allowing yourself to find this balance between your inhale and your exhale. This balance between the expansion, the lift, and the release, the fall. And with this power of your breath, beginning to harmonize your body, your mind, your spirit, bringing in this intention of balance to your practice today. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here in stillness. Though I invite you to take this equal parts breath through your entire practice today, if that feels good for you. And when you're ready, let's add a little movement to our breath. So bringing your hands to cup your knees or rest on your thighs. Take your next inhale to draw your shoulders back, bring your heart forward. And as you exhale, start to tuck your chin around your spine. Inhaling to bring your heart forward, find this cow pose shape. And exhaling to round your spine back into our cat pose. Again, inhaling forward, moving with your breath. Exhaling back, gently hugging the navel in. Taking a few more rounds here with your breath. Maybe sticking with that equal parts breath, inhaling and exhaling for the same amount of time. And now with your next inhale, bring your chest back to center. Sweep your arms high to the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands down through heart center, Anjali Mudra. Then again, inhale, arms sweep out and up, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. One more like that. Inhale, arms sweep to the sky. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. This time, let's pause here. Perhaps bowing your head towards your hands, closing the eyes if you had them open. And in this moment of pause here, notice how you feel. Notice sensations in your body, any thoughts moving through your mind, any emotions that might be rising up for you here. Taking this time to acknowledge whatever exists within you today, without the need to judge or change any of it. And all together, let's take a breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And when you're ready, fluttering your eyes open, bringing your palms down to the mat in front of you. And let's make our way to hands and knees, finding tabletop position. So taking a moment as you arrive, maybe kind of wiggle around a little bit as you find your foundations, rooting through the palms, anchoring down through the shins. And then finding your nice long spine here. Feel that your gaze is slightly forward and down, while your tailbone is reaching back towards your heels. Then with your next inhale, begin to reach your left leg back behind you, letting it hover any amount off the floor. If you'd like to add on, that right arm can reach forward, creating this spinal balance here. Let's take another inhale to find length. As you exhale, slowly lower everything down. Switching sides, inhale, right leg moves back behind you. Maybe choosing to add on that left arm, reaching through the fingertips. Taking another inhale, keep that length. And as you exhale, lower down. Continuing to alternate with your breath. Inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale, lower back to your tabletop position. Then inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. And exhale, lower down through center. Keep it going. Inhale, left leg, maybe right arm. Exhale through center. Inhale, right leg, left arm, finding your balance. And exhale down through center. Now this time as you inhale, sending left leg back, maybe right arm forward. As you exhale, lower your right hand, drop your left toes to the mat, keeping the legs stretched back behind you. Start to drop your inner left heel towards the floor as you shift weight into your right hand. Then with an inhale, sweep your left arm to the sky, opening your chest as you find this supported side plank. Pushing down still through that right shin, right hand to help lift you up away from the floor. Breathing into your entire body here as you take another inhale. As you exhale, come back out the way you came. Left hand down, left heel lifts. Now anchoring through both hands and pushing down through the ball of the left foot. Take an inhale, lift your right knee up towards your chest. As you exhale, send the hips back, three-legged dog with that right leg lifted into the air. Let's take another inhale right here. As you exhale, step that right foot all the way in between your hands, planting the left heel down as well, setting up for warrior one. Rooting through your feet, take an inhale to rise up. As you exhale, settle into your warrior one shape. 3 rounds of breath here, inhaling to push the feet down. Exhaling to gently hug your hips together. And again, inhaling to get nice and tall. Exhaling to draw the navel in and up. Last breath here, inhale. As you exhale, hands float all the way down to your yoga mat. Let's step it back into a plank pose here. Right foot meets your left. For this first one, let's lower both knees down onto the floor. Take an inhale, push away from the mat. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way onto your belly. Rolling your shoulders back, take an inhale to lift your heart, little baby cobra. As you exhale, push your hips up and back. Let's find our child's pose. Dropping your hips back towards your heels, only coming back as far as it feels comfortable for your back and your hips today. Let's take a big breath in here and let it out. When you're ready, inhale to come back up towards that tabletop position. We're going to take all that on the other side. So finding your foundations, root down through the palms, push down through the shins, and find your nice long spine. With your next inhale, right leg moves back, maybe reach the left arm forward. And exhale, lower everything back down, nice and slow. Inhale, left leg back, maybe right arm forward. And exhale, lower down. Keep it going at your own pace. Inhaling, right leg back. Exhale to lower. Inhaling, left leg, maybe right arm as well. And exhale, lower. This time as you inhale, send that right leg back, left arm forward. As you exhale, drop your left hand, drop your right toes, keeping that leg extended behind you. Start to drop your inner right heel to the floor right behind that left leg and plant down through your left hand. From that support, take an inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky and find your side plank here. All those parts of your body that are touching the floor are really pushing you up and away from the mat so you're able to create this length through the right side waist. Let's take another inhale here. You got this. As you exhale, come out the same way you came in. Right hand drops down, lifting that right heel. Push down through the hands as you inhale, lift that left knee up to your chest. As you exhale, send your hips back, lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Let's take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring that left foot forward, step it in between your hands. Back heel drops down, setting you up for warrior one. Take your inhale to rise, nice and slow. Staying here for 3 rounds of breath. Inhale here. Exhale completely. Again, inhale nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, rooting down through the tailbone. Good, one more inhale here. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the mat, and let's step it back into our plank position. This time, knees lowered or lifted, that's up to you. Let's take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale to rise your chest, baby cobra, maybe cobra this time. As you exhale, push away from the mat, send the hips back. This time passing through our child's pose as we tuck the toes, lift the knees, and come into downward facing dog. As you arrive in your downward facing dog, it might feel nice to take a little bit of movement here. Maybe swaying the hips, shaking the head. Might feel nice to bend and straighten the knees a couple of times. Really just feeling into your body, checking out how everything is feeling before we keep moving through our flow here today. And when you're ready, weight shifts over to your left foot. Take an inhale, sweep your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step that right foot in between your hands. Let's set up for warrior one once again. Rooting down through the feet, take an inhale to rise up. Stay for your exhale, settling into warrior one. Take another inhale here, find that nice long spine, head to tail. As you exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Inhale, start to shift your weight forward into that right foot. Maybe start to lift your left heel, just see how that feels. Take another inhale to bring your weight forward. As you exhale, hug your navel in as you start to lift your left foot off the mat, any amount, coming into warrior three. Finding your balance here, maybe bringing hands down onto blocks or using the support of a wall if you have one. But really feeling the strength of that right leg holding you up and your left leg just as strong, kicking back behind you. Let's take just one more inhale here. You got this. As you exhale, lightly land your left foot at the back of your mat. As you rise up to stand tall, turn yourself to face that left edge of your mat. So all 10 toes are now facing that long edge of the yoga mat. Hands will come to your hips as you take an inhale here. Exhale, soften your knees and fold forward between your legs. Hands can come down onto your mat. Maybe you like to grab your ankles or your big toes here. Taking just a few moments to stretch into this wide-legged forward fold. Feet anchoring down into the mat, knees softly bent. Upper body hanging heavy here towards the mat. And let's take another breath in. And breath out. Bringing your right hand right underneath your nose. Take an inhale, sweep your left arm open. Take a twist towards the back edge of your mat. Stay for your exhale, pushing down through your feet as you lift through that left arm. Let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, bring that left arm down. Use that momentum to turn you back to face the top of your mat. Right foot forward, left foot back. Beautiful. Plant down through that left hand. Start to come onto the outer edge of that left foot as you walk your right foot towards the right side of your mat. Right arm lifts as you rise your hips into a side plank. Again, really pushing up away from the mat with all those parts of your body that are touching the floor. Maybe even stepping that right foot all the way back to meet your left as you take another inhale here. As you exhale, slowly unwind to a plank. Right hand comes down, square off the hips. Knees lowered or lifted, take an inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Inhale, find your back bend, baby cobra, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, sending your hips up and back. Find your way to downward facing dog, however it feels good to get there. And as you arrive in that down dog, let's all meet for a breath in and breath out. Awesome. As you're ready, weight shift to your right foot. Take an inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot up to the top of your mat. Let's get ready for warrior one. Take your inhale to rise up. And with your exhale, settle in for a breath. Inhale here. And exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. As you inhale, start to play with bringing your weight forward into that left foot. Maybe start to lift your back heel, get light on those right toes. Another inhale to bring your heart forward. Then as you exhale, hug your navel in as you start to lift that right leg any amount, finding your warrior three. Turning all 5 of those right toes down towards the mat so that you can square off your hips and hug the hips together, giving you even more support through the legs as you find your balance. Now, even though we're trying to balance and stay kind of still here, make sure that you're still breathing as best you can. And let's stay for another inhale here. As you exhale, start to land your right foot towards the back of your mat. As you do, turn yourself to face that right edge of your mat. Once again, in our wide-legged stance, all 10 toes facing that long edge. Beautiful. Hands find your hips. Take an inhale to get tall. As you exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Once again, hands can drop down wherever they feel comfortable to the mat, maybe holding on to the shins or feet. And let's take about 3 rounds of breath here just to feel into this stretch. Finding these moments in our practice for both activity and stillness. Now with your next inhale, start to bring your left hand underneath your nose, setting yourself up for your twist here. Breath in to sweep your right arm open, turn your chest towards your right foot. As you breathe out, gently hug your shoulder blades together on your back. Beautiful, another inhale here to find that wingspan across the arms. As you exhale, unwind, bringing that right arm down, using that momentum to swing you forward, turning to face the top of your mat, left foot at the front, right foot at the back. Planting down through your right hand, start to turn onto the outer edge of your right foot as you heel toe that left foot towards the left edge of your mat. Pushing the hips high as you open into your side plank. Again, maybe stepping that left foot all the way back to meet your right. Legs come together as you find this side plank shape. We're just here for one more breath. Stick with it. Feel the strength here as you inhale. As you exhale, slowly unwind, left hand down, squaring off into your plank. Let's take an inhale here. Exhale all the way onto your belly. Inhale, rise your heart for your back bend. And exhale, press up off the mat. Send your hips back. Let's find child's pose this time. So as you settle back into your child's pose, hips reaching back towards the heels. Start to melt your heart towards the mat. Let your forehead drop down as well. And if this just feels a little bit uncomfortable for the body today, you always have the option instead to come to seated and find a little forward fold here. So choosing what feels best for your body. And let's stay for about 3 rounds of breath here. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose or mouth. And with your next inhale, begin to walk your hands over towards the right side of your yoga mat. As you exhale, get heavy through that left hip and feel that stretch through your left side waist. And stay here for another full breath in. Complete breath out. And inhaling to walk your hands all the way over to that left edge of your mat. As you exhale, getting heavy back through that right hip. Staying for a breath in and breath out. Inhaling, arms back through center, finding that child's pose or seated fold. Let's take one more breath in right here and let it out. As you inhale, slowly come up out of that child's pose. And let's make our way to a seated position on the mat. As you find your seat, take a moment to scoot yourself towards the midpoint of your mat so that you have some space behind you here. Bending the knees, plant the soles of your feet, and at your own pace, start to roll yourself down onto your back. As you come down onto the mat, take a moment to plant both feet on the floor, hips width distance maybe a little bit wider. And arms can rest by your sides, drawing your shoulder blades down into the mat. With your next inhale, push down through your feet to lift up through your hips. Please stay for your exhale, settling into this bridge pose. Again, inhaling to rise those hips maybe a little bit higher. Exhaling as you gently hug your navel in and up. Just one more inhale here in this bridge. As you exhale, slowly lower your hips back down to the mat. As you land, step your right foot nice and wide to the right, left foot nice and wide to the left. And let's start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. So dropping both knees over to one side of the mat and then to the other. Feeling this little massaging down around the glutes, this movement for the hips. And then the next time that your knees drop over to the right side of your mat, let's pause here for 3 rounds of breath in our twist. So option to keep your legs staggered or bring your left leg on top of your right, stacking the legs in this twist. Taking just another breath in here and breath out. As you inhale, bringing your knees back up through center. Once again, stepping your feet about hips width distance. Anchoring down through the soles of the feet, pressing down through the upper arms. And with an inhale, begin to rise your hips. Find your bridge pose one more time. Push down through the balls and the heels of the feet. Let your toes relax. Feel this gentle hugging in of the inner thighs, but don't let the knees knock in or spread out here. And let's take just one more inhale in this back bend. As you exhale, slowly lower down. And as you land your hips, again, left foot steps to the left, right foot steps to the right, and begin to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Beginning to slow down your pace, both with your movement and with your breathing. And now the next time that your knees drop over to the left side of your mat, please pause there for a twist. Either keeping the legs staggered or stacking right leg on top of left. Perhaps spreading the arms wide as we stay for another full breath in. And complete breath out. With your next inhale, bringing your knees back through center, coming back onto your back. This time, please heel toe your feet all the way together at the center of your mat. Once you feel your big toes touch, let your knees open out wide to either edge of your mat. So as you bring the soles of your feet together and open the knees out into this butterfly shape, if you start to feel any pulling or tweakiness around the knees, then you always have the option to bring maybe your hands or a couple pillows underneath your legs here, just for a little extra support. If this just isn't feeling great in general, then come back to feet planted, knees pointing up to the sky. If you feel comfortable to rest in this shape for a few moments, you might like to place one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart. Perhaps closing your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable for you. And allowing yourself once again to pause and notice how you feel. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice any thoughts moving through your mind or emotions that might be popping up. Allowing yourself to sit with and observe whatever might arise for you today, without the need to judge or change anything. And perhaps coming back to that equal parts breath that we had at the beginning of practice. Finding your inhale and exhale to be of equal length. Letting each round of breath draw you back into this present moment. Back into this experience of being in your body. And into this dance around balance. This harmonizing of the body, the mind, the spirit. Let's take another breath in right here. And breath out. Reaching your arms down to either leg. Gently press your legs back together, planting the soles of your feet onto the floor. And when you're ready, gently rolling onto either side of your body. Curling up in this little fetal position here as we take a moment to transition. Eventually pressing yourself up to a seated position on your mat once again. Rooting down through your sits bones, lifting up tall through the top of your head. And if you'd like, I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart, finding that Anjali Mudra. Preparing to step off of your mat back into whatever else you have going on in your day or going on this evening. Knowing that you can now move from this place of balance and presence. And maybe even taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up to this practice today. For taking this time just for you. And I thank you so much for meeting me on the mat. Namaste. Be well.